Hello everyone, this is Miss Chelsea and today we'll be discussing thermal energy and heat. Our standard of the day is S8P2D to plan and carry out investigations on the effects of heat transfer on molecular motion as it relates to the collision of atoms through space or in currents in a liquid or a gas, aka conduction, radiation, or convection. Now, you may recall from the previous video that there are three ways to transfer energy as heat. The first way, conduction, is when thermal energy is transferred from one object to another through direct contact. Thermal energy transfers from the object at a higher temperature directly to the object at a lower temperature. Now, conductors are materials that transfer heat well. Metals are typically good conductors. Insulators, on the other hand, are poor conductors of heat. These examples include wood, paper, and styrofoam. The second method of energy transfer is convection. Convection is the transfer of thermal energy by the movement of liquids or gases. For example, when you boil water in a pot or kettle, water towards the bottom gets hotter because it's closer to the source of the heat. As the thermal energy of the water increases, it becomes less dense and rises. The water at the surface that is cooler is denser, which causes it to sink. This happens in a constant cycle. We call this cycle a convection current. This occurs in both liquids and gases, but not in solids. This occurs because the particles in gases and liquids can move, but the particles in solids cannot. Final type of heat transfer is radiation. Radiation is the transfer of thermal energy by electromagnetic waves. The energy will travel through empty space. For example, visible light, infrared, ultraviolet, microwave, and X-rays are all electromagnetic waves. For example, the sun has infrared rays as well as visible light rays, which heat the sand at the beach on a hot day. These rays travel all the way through space to reach the Earth. Now, let's use what we've learned to decide if each of the following is conduction, convection, or radiation. Number 1, getting a sunburn. Number 2, steam. Number 3, melting butter on a pan. Now, thinking back to earlier in the class, which methods of heat transfer were used to melt the chocolate bunny each time, and what evidence supports this? Well, iron melting the chocolate bunny is conduction because the heat transfer is through direct contact. Using the blow dryer would be an example of convection because the energy is transferred through the hot air. And finally, radiation is demonstrated through the heat lamp because there's no direct contact and the particles are not moving.